Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another AMA by PresaleWorld. I'm Ant, and today we're hosting Rabona Agency. We spoke to the team in the pre-sale phase, but now they've launched and it's done fantastic, so I'm excited to talk to them. But before then, let's get into a little bit of the housekeeping. We are PresaleWorld. We're the easiest way to find the best pre-sales from across the market, from the biggest launch pads, including PinkSale, Unicrypt, Gempad, CookieSale, DXL, and of course from our very own launchpad here at PresaleWorld. We are the fastest growing launchpad, so please do check out presale.world. We think it's a fantastic site, obviously a little bit biased. But anyway, let's get into the main event with Rabona Agency. We'll see you there. I know we did this last time as well, but bear in mind there's going to be new people for your community, new people for our community. Let's just give a bit of an introduction of who you are.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here again. I didn't expect that we'd have an AMA again this soon, but everything is going so well. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Joga Bonito. I'm the COO of Rabona Agency, Rabona Football Agency. We are the first decentralized football agency sharing revenues from player signings with community backers. So we're a football project. We're doing lots of things. We have a DAO. We are developing a D app. We have a clothing line that's coming up. We are organizing tournaments and trials for young football players who are ready to make the transition to professional football. And on top of that, of course, we are also a player agency. So we will be helping these players out in becoming a professional, in making the transition from youth football or semi-professional football to professional football. So that's what we're all about. We have a strong team with all the needed experience within the crypto space and within the football industry. So I think that sums it up more or less.
Unbelievable overview, to be honest. You kind of hit every line. So let's just go back to where we were to start with, where we kind of left off with the last AMA here. So you were in your fair launch. It was going pretty well already, but you managed to raise 455 BNB, which is incredible. But even more incredible, I would say, is what often happens with a fair launch. If anyone tends to watch them, is it pumps and it dumps and it goes below a launch price. And some tokens, not all tokens, but some tokens fail to recover. Whereas it seems like he did have the pump and dump, but then it just went from strength to strength to strength. I mean, why do you think that is different with Rabona compared to the other tokens out there?
Yeah, so I believe it's a few things. So for sure, we have the World Cup hype that's going on right now in the crypto space. A lot of football tokens coming up with linking crypto and football. Most of them are mostly betting platforms or similar things. And we decided to take a different approach, not necessarily because of the World Cup hype, because we were building this since March, the crypto aspect of our project. The football agency is something that's been brewing way before that. And I think people just noticed the professionality of the team or professionalism of the team and just the overall efforts, creativity, and input that has been put into the project. And the energy we have going on in the chat, the moderators, the team who's doing a tremendous work, tremendous effort. And I think the investors are noticing that, and they are just not looking for a quick gain. Well, you saw the chart retrace, so there are some people who took profit, but we're noticing that a lot of people who are taking profit are also coming back with their investment. So I think during this stage of the market, being in a bear market with the hype going on around the football tokens, I think we're doing a great job. And I couldn't point out exactly why we're doing so good, but I think it's a sum of all of the things that we've been doing and all of the energy we've been putting into it. And that's why we're thankful and grateful for what's happening, and we're growing.
Absolutely. And I think it's very hard to kind of pat yourselves on the back, isn't it? Sometimes when someone says, why are you doing well? And it's very hard to go, well, it's because of us. But we were really impressed with the AMA last time. You know, I said it to you directly, but obviously I said it on the chat. But, you know, you came across it very, very, very professional. And I think that comes across. I really do. I think it's it's one of those things in a project where if people hear you speak, if people hear you how you interact with the community, it makes a big difference. So, and you've just continued that from what I can see. So it's absolutely fantastic. But enough blowing smoke up your, sorry, it's a saying in the UK, blowing smoke up your arse. It's meant to be like me sucking up to you. But in that case, let's move on and let's talk about how things are progressing. So obviously, a lot of the things that you lined out, the clothing line, the DAP, the DAO, and the tournaments, what is going to be the progression on those things, like step by step? What do you expect to come out first?
So something I want to mention is that during the distribution of the tokens, we had noticed that we were lacking some circulating tokens to proceed to our next move, which was the CEX listing. We wanted to do that as quickly as possible, just to keep the momentum going and flowing. But because of the supply shock that we've had, we didn't have enough supply to distribute all the tokens to the private investors and the bonuses promised to the pre-sale investors. That's why we decided to postpone the CEX to January. Either way, the community took the announcement positive. Some of them decided to get out. And we do understand that. But on the other side, we are a very flexible team. We try to overcome all obstacles. And what we decided to do is to put the complete focus on the tournaments, just to keep the momentum going after the World Cup hype. Because right now, in the coming months or in November, there will be a lot of buy pressure or people just being interested in football tokens. We know that, but we don't want to rely only on that. So we believe that will be something great coming up for us. But on top of that, we decided to shift a lot of our focus and attention on the first tournament that we will be organizing. And we came up with a great idea. We came up with the idea to make the tournament more of a urban style tournament, more of a FIFA Street style tournament. It will be a 5 versus 5 tournament. It will be an invitational tournament. The first tournament that we're holding for the Rabona Invitationals will be in Antwerp, which is our home base, our own city. And we believe that it will be a great incentive to get things going. So we will be inviting a lot of professional footballers, a lot of ambassadors, and also freestyle footballers, world famous freestyle footballers. And we just want to create a great football event, get all the people involved in football or interested in football involved with us. And we just want to make a big event out of it, just to shock the crypto world, sort of a guerrilla marketing strategy. We want to get a lot of people to this event just right after the World Cup, during the winter break, when a lot of footballers are available. And yes, as I said, we want to make it an urban style, FIFA Street style tournament, 5v5. We'll want to get as many teams on board as possible. Well, as much as we can invite to play on one day. It will most likely be a knockout phase tournament. And we want to get good footballers on board for this tournament. Famous footballers, freestyle footballers, talented footballers. And the idea is to, right after the World Cup, when some might think that all of this football token hype might die out, we want to shock the crypto world. We want to create a great event, have a lot of people here with us, get sponsorship deals, manage to get funding for extra funding for the tournament through sponsorship, and just make a great event out of it, because we do believe that there will be a lot of eyes on the tournament, a lot of eyes in the football industry and as well in the crypto industry. So yeah, we just want to make the maximum out of this event.
What a fantastic idea. I love that. I love seeing it come to fruition, because it's nice when you talk about it as the idea, but to see that things are, the kind of wheels are turning is a great thing. I also think, being a football fan myself, of course, obviously here in the UK, we don't quite get that winter break, but over in continental Europe, of course, it's the perfect time to run that. And like you say, you said every point, to be fair. You've got the World Cup next month, which people are just going to be looking at football tokens, whether they want to or not, because they're going to be everywhere really. And if you already have a standpoint in the market, which you do, and like you say, it's not that you purposely marketed towards a World Cup, it's just a happy accident, that's even better. But for the people here that are crypto focused and not necessarily football or soccer focused, why does this make a difference to them if you are running a football tournament? Like, what benefit does it have to them that you are obviously increased awareness, but if they are holding Rabona, what benefit does it have to them?
Yeah, so the tournament will be the way for us to kick off the campaign we will be running on a larger scale. So the first step for us is to run this tournament, as I said, in a FIFA Street style. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the game, if you ever played it, but it's a great concept. A lot of people love it, and we wanted to make a reality out of this game style, the FIFA Street. So for us, we believe it will be a way to start out our tournament campaign. Antwerp will be the first city that we will be hosting this campaign in, or this tournament, and then we want to make these the step, or make this the first step to the next tournaments that we will organize. So our idea is to go to the big cities, the world cities. We're starting out with Antwerp, other cities that are very near to us, and also based on analytics, which would make the most sense for us to organize these tournaments in, would be Amsterdam, Paris in France, and London in the UK. And the idea is just to get all the people involved in who are involved with football, get them also involved with crypto. On the other side, people who are more involved with crypto, let them get to know more about football, and just to create a big organization, a big project that mixes the best of both worlds. And of course, making a big campaign out of it, getting a lot of attention in the crypto space. We believe that it will show off as a project that we do have skin in the game on both sides. And we believe that it will also attract a lot of investors. It will also give us a lot of content afterwards to keep branding, to keep marketing. So think of, for example, if we work with football shirts for both teams that participate or that are playing a game, we can create unique Rabona football kits for these players, as well as sponsorships to be displayed on these football kits. We're surely going to spread the word about us in the crypto world, see whoever wants to get involved in sponsoring. I don't know, maybe PresaleWorld might be one of the sponsors if you guys are interested, but we will do the needed prospection just to get the sponsors on board, which will also give us more funding to do more marketing for the tournament and for the token in general. So we believe that it will be a win-win situation for everyone involved, and also surely for the investors and for the football players who get a platform to showcase their talents, to get noticed. One thing I'm also working on right now, I'm in the talks with a lot of other football agents who already have their football portfolio of football players, famous football players, and I'm working on getting these agents on board with us, inviting them to our tournaments, seeing that they can also get their players on board with our tournaments, and just create an ecosystem for football in general within the crypto space. So not necessarily make everything revolve around our agency, but more so create an ecosystem where everyone can feel happy to participate and happy to involve themselves.
Yeah, great answer. And, from my perspective, it was a bit of a loaded question, so I apologize, Choga, but I know you've been good at answering them in the past, so I thought I'd do it. But awareness is key, right, for anything like this. Like the agency itself, which we'll get into how the staking and the DApp will work. But that's one side of the things when the agency is getting those funds. But in order to get the awareness, and you put it great with skin in the game, I thought it was a great way to put it. This is how you get that awareness and you get that talent, so you can cultivate it, and eventually that DAO produces hopefully a lot of funds for those investors. But aside from that, it is just awareness itself can make a token go crazy, right? If you have these guerrilla marketing events, as you put it, that is enough. I mean, I don't like to talk about them too much, but if you look at Luminous Angel, that was basically just advertising everywhere. They haven't actually got much of a platform to show for it yet. It didn't really matter. The amount of money that got poured into it is what caused it to boom. So in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, but awareness and marketing is one of the key pillars, really, of making a token go big. Obviously, you've got a bit more of a wider view on it. It's not just the token, it is also the business and the agency too. But for an investor's point of view, that sort of marketing, I think, is exactly what you need to do. But a nice little segue would be onto the DApp, really, and the staking model, because some people here might not know what the intention is of Rabona Agency. Like, the marketing to me sounds absolutely fantastic, and the tournaments, to be honest, I'd probably come in and have a view of seeing what's going on, quite honestly. But what does the staking mean? What does the DAO mean to an investor, and what's the timeline on these things too?
Yeah, so surely you will be invited to the tournament, since you're from the UK. It's not a very far travel, so you're surely invited, and I'll be happy to welcome you when you're here. And for the DApp, what I can say is that we're just building multiple revenue streams to streamline back to the community whatever we gain through the agency and through the tournaments, through the merchandise. So we're creating an ecosystem, really. Everyone who's investing, everyone who's building towards the future of Rabona Agency will be able to be rewarded for involving themselves, for investing, and for participating. We're also creating a platform where people can interact back with the team and back with the rest of the community, give proposals, also vote for proposals, so we can see what proposals go through, what proposals don't go through. And also, as far as the scouting we want to involve the community as much as possible, just to see what we're doing, to give them an overview of what we're building, and to create a transparency between the team and the investors, just to give a constant overview of what we're doing. We believe that it will be a nice way to keep the investors involved, and to give them an overview of what's happening with their investment. So that will be the idea for our D-app. Right now, we're really busy with the design of the D-app. I don't know if you can tell by the way that we designed our website, but we really put a lot of effort into it and a lot of creativity. It took a lot of time, but you can see that the results are really paying off, and we want to do the same thing with our D-app. So right now we're fully focused on the design, for starters, and at the same time we're creating the main skeleton for the infrastructure of the D-app, for the ecosystem. And it's just going to be a way to involve the community as much as possible, to make the community to reward the community as much as possible, and just to make them proud of something that they invested in, just to get the people that are involved to promote it themselves, just because of how proud they are that they can be part of this. That's our idea behind it. That's our vision behind it. So we want to put a lot of energy into it, a lot of effort again, with the design, with the creativity, with how it would work with the smart contracts, create some neat features for that, just so that everyone is proud of what they're involving themselves in.
Yeah, well, I couldn't agree more. It's so easy to rush something out the door. Like, I do see projects, we all see projects where they say, oh, I've got a new swap, and realistically it is a fork of a contract somewhere. And not only that, I've got no problem with that, to be honest, because people can make their changes and we all stand on the shoulders of giants. It's when the design is just PancakeSwap, whereas, like you say, your website is, well, as it is, it stands alone. And then if you can make something like that with the DApp as well, if you can take that creativity forwards, I'm sure it will encourage a lot more people to invest. And obviously the people that have invested, like you say, I mean, proud is an interesting word, because the investors I've met, some people get really on board with the project and they love everything about it, and they're your kind of diamond hands, your holders, which is what you want. And there's other people that might really like it, but they don't care enough because they will buy and sell. So the more you can convert to that latter group, to the former, is exactly what you want. So by doing things like you say, actually taking time, no one likes the word time in this space, but there's a limit to that, of course. But as long as you take a bit more time, should I say, to create something that is actually good, you always reap the benefits, and the investors reap the benefits too. So yeah, great answer on that, basically. And just to be clear, just so people know, obviously the DAO is intended to be these different revenue streams. If they stake their tokens, get its profit sharing, if I remember rightly. Is that right, Choga?
Yeah. So we will have multiple revenue streams for the agency, and through the app, through staking the Rabona token, you will be able to benefit from these revenues that will be streamlined back to the community. So we will be creating staking pools. In contrary to many other staking ecosystems, it will not be an inflationary ecosystem with staking. It will be based on buybacks. It will be based on revenues from the agency itself. If I say revenues, you can think of multiple revenue streams. We have on the one side, we have NFTs. We have the agency itself, the contracts that we will be getting for our players. We have sponsorships, we have tournaments, and we have our clothing line. So we will be doing many activities with our organization. We will be scaling whatever works best, and we will be making sure that we can build up those revenues to start funding our ecosystem and create those pools on our D app. And then at the same time, constantly looking to improve whatever we have, getting more people involved as ambassadors, getting more players involved, scaling the tournaments. Right now, for example, since we are doing our first tournament in our home city, Antwerp, we will also be looking at getting the government involved for subsidizing the part of the tournament, since it will also have some community benefits for the city of Antwerp. So yeah, we're really looking to, as you said, take our time. Of course, with the needed pressure and rush to keep flowing, because crypto never sleeps. But we will be surely looking to do things as professional as possible, and as great as possible. So something that we really want to do is to stand out, because we believe that it's important. You see so many tokens that are just a fork of another fork, and we don't believe that that's the way to go for us necessarily. We believe that we want to stand out. We want to create our own thing, something that has never been done. And I believe that we're right on track, and that we just got to keep on pacing, keep the momentum going on. And then people will start noticing us. Well, actually, they're already noticing us. Just if you look us up on Twitter, you can see that a lot of big names in the crypto industry are already following us. But I believe that with the tournament that we will be organizing, getting all of those people involved, making a real life event out of it. There's many real life blockchain events. A lot of people attend to them. Usually the greater projects are there. But this will be a different event. It will be a football tournament that's related to crypto. So yeah, it's a first time for such kind of an event, and we believe that people will find out about it and they will like it.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. And I completely agree with everything you said, quite honestly. One thing I'm really interested in that we didn't talk about last time, which, well, we did talk about it a little bit, but I'm a football fan, but I'm equally as big a basketball fan, which is quite strange here in the UK, but it is what it is. And one of the things that, when I was growing up at least, that was very, very big was, I don't know if you heard about And One Basketball, which was this kind of, like you say, guerrilla marketing essentially. And what they grew it into was essentially one of the biggest clothing brands in the world against Nike. eventually Nike, if you remember the basketball video where they played the songs with the balls, but they grew to $1 billion business through this, like you say, literally going from city to city, getting the best street ballers, like street footballers, of course, in the world, and competing against each other. And that was pretty much how they grew their brand. So hearing about the clothing line, I find really, really interesting. I mean, is that something you have thought about in terms of And One, or is it just happened to be a nice correlation?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because it's just it's the way that we want to approach it also with Rabona. We want to get freestyle footballers on board, famous freestyle footballers who have a great following, but they're not monetizing their career as much as they can or would be able to with regular professional football. So we're getting freestyle footballers on board. We're getting street footballers on board, Pana footballers on board, and they will all be ambassadors of our brand. And at the same time, they will spread the word about us within the football industry. So they will be sharing that they will be attending the tournament. At the same time, other talented footballers will be able to see on their account that they are attending, and they might also be able to join. So we will be opening up applications to join the tournament, and we believe that way, by screening and getting the best footballers invited to the tournament, that it will have a great effect on our brand. We will surely make the best out of it with our brand within the tournament. So we will be giving merch to the ambassadors, to the footballers who will be playing. We are also thinking about a unique kits during the games. So all the content will be filmed. We will have a few camera teams, and we can reuse all of that content on our own feed on TikTok and Instagram, where we have more than 170K followers, but also on Twitter, and also on all the pages of all the footballers involved. And with the Rabona brand, we believe we have a great branding going on. Our logo is just really clean, really neat, reminds me of Jordan. So it's not something that we necessarily thought about to replicate the way that Nike spread the awareness of their game. It's just because we thought the concept of FIFA Street would be really neat to give the players a chance to showcase their skills on a smaller pitch, but at the same time also showcase their football capacity. And it can also be really exciting for everyone to watch. And we believe that it's a way for us to get a lot of audience to the tournament. We believe that we can get hundreds or thousands of people to the tournament. And if it's a great success in Antwerp, which I believe it will be, then we can go into scaling. Then we can go to Amsterdam, to London, to Paris, eventually to Barcelona, maybe Milan in Italy. And just go over city by city and spread the word about Rabona. At the same time, get to know all the talented street football players within those cities, or freestyle football players, and also professional football players, because I believe that it will also attract a lot of professional footballers who are on their winter break and want to have an extra match or an extra tournament. Of course, it will depend on their contract with their own teams, because they don't want to get injured during the winter break. But I believe it will be a way to spread the word very nicely, create a nice event that everyone will want to attend to, and at the same time get some sales going on for our merchandise, get some visitors on our website, get more analytics, more data from our end user, and just scale our company. I believe that's a great way to do it. And if Nike also did it this way, then I believe that we're certainly on the right track, on the right direction.
Yeah, it was actually a company called And One, which managed to grow in competition with Nike, which it sounds unheard of that a company could do that, really, because Nike is such a gargantuan beast. But they did it, like I say, by very similar tactics to what you're suggesting. I can't think of a football brand. Maybe I have not. I'm going to say skin in the game again, because someone messaged me saying it's funny that people are saying skin in the game. Maybe I don't have enough skin in the game to know that, but like I say, and just to the investors that are listening, of course, like, I know we're talking about brand awareness, but when we're talking about brand awareness, that is what you want for a cryptocurrency, whether it's inside or outside of crypto. There's only so much marketing you can do inside of crypto. If you manage to tap a bit of the market outside of that, I think someone that was on an AMA the other day was saying 5% of people are actually in the world are invested in crypto. So there's a huge market outside of crypto too. And if you manage to pull people in and realize that you can take part of this profit sharing thing, you get a huge brand that's going, then yeah, fully on board with that. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Well,
definitely.
I mean, from my perspective, I want to open it up to some questions, really. Like, I love what you're doing. I think the launch and the pre-sale has been absolutely fantastic. I think you should be really proud of what you've done and what you've got going forward. I think it sounds absolutely amazing. And like I say, do send the links when you know when it's going to be, or where it's going to be. We'll share them with our community. I'll pop on down and come and see you guys too. So yeah, absolutely. But let's open it up to some questions. So if you have any, guys, post them in the PresaleWorld chat, or hold your hand up here, or send them through to me or John, and then we can get them through. But the commander is here already. So if you're ready, Choga. How you doing, my man?
Hey.
You there, Commander?
Hey guys, what's up?
How you doing, dude? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm all good. Ask away, brother.
Okay, yeah. I've been listening to the AMA, and first of all, thanks for the great opportunity. Yeah. So I have a question based on you said that now the market, yeah, we're in a bear market now. I mean, yeah, we're in a bear market. So I want to know, how do you plan in keeping the sustainability of your project? I mean, how do you plan in maintaining the value of your token, the Rabona token, when it comes to day-to-day changes of market? Do you get the question?
Yeah, for sure. So to answer your question, of course, we're on a bear market. Most would tend to say that we're coming closer and closer to the bottom of this bear market. Of course, we cannot 100% say or with certainty say that the bottom is in. But we believe that with the revenues that we are building, most of them are coming outside of crypto. So we will surely be able to sustain our business during the bear market. On the other side, for the chart and for the health of the token itself, it's the token is dependent on the market situation. But as you can see, we've had a great fair launch. We had a great private sale, and we also had a great launch on PancakeSwap. So far, we've had about 4.6 million in volume since we've launched, which we launched about 4 to 5 days ago. So in all honesty, I can say that we're doing well during a bear market. And I believe that we can maintain this by on one side, we have the World Cup going on right now, which will create a lot of demand for our token. But it will give us also the time to start building towards these tournaments, towards the D-app, towards the agency. Also, we have our CEX listing coming up in January, which also will give us some extra buy pressure and something that we have up our sleeves that we can still use for marketing. So we believe that we can keep the pressure and the momentum going upwards within the following weeks or months. And we think that at this point, we are not too much dependent on a bear market or a bull market. One could say, of course, that if we launched during a bull market, that it would be much more crazy and a much bigger result. But at the same time, maybe it's just perfect timing, because as you see, our pool is in BNBs. And if we make the transition from a bear market to a bull market and BNB starts growing, we also start growing. And on top of that, if we manage to build out something great during the bear market and survive the bear market, and we make the transition to a bull market, then I think we will have so much leverage that everybody will be wanting to get involved. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
Nice
it
question,
does.
dude.
It does. It did answer my question. Yeah, but discussing about the funding aspect of your project, because I'm not sure you guys have really touched on that. Yeah, so I want to know, how do you plan to make yourself benefit from your project, and not only yourself, also the investors? Like, how do you plan to make yourself and the investors benefit more from your project when it comes to the funding of your project?
Is the question how did the project make money? Is that what the question is in kind of a short way?
I meant how did they plan to make themselves benefit from the project, and also to make the investors benefit from that project when it comes to the fundings of that project?
The funding. Is that right?
I to summarize the question, I'll make sure that people stick to one. But how do investors benefit? I think we've already been through that in terms of the brand awareness and what you can get from the DAO. In terms of, if you stake your tokens, this is when the DApp is ready. There's a BNB that gets returned as profit sharing, which I believe comes back as a buyback as well. But Choga can tell me if I'm right or wrong there. And obviously the project, but it's a good question to ask, to be fair. When do you start making money, Choga? When is it that Rabona itself starts actually making money?
Yeah, so we believe that it will be right after our first tournament. During the tournament, or even before the tournament, we will be strategizing a lot. During the tournament, we are getting as much people as possible involved within the tournament. And of course, we are also looking to monetize that. So we will be going to market with our merchandise. We will be branding our token itself. We also will be monetizing the tournaments over time. So to get involved with the tournaments over time, since there will also be a prize pool, there will also be an entry fee for the teams to enter. That will also be a monetization aspect of the tournament. And we're also looking to get sponsorship deals and just overall commerce on the tournament. So we're looking to sell our t-shirts, our merchandise there. We will be looking to sell the token during the tournament. Also a food truck, selling drinks, such things. But sponsorship will mostly be the greatest way for us to benefit out of the tournament. We believe that there's a lot of big brands with a big marketing budget. And we believe that getting them involved with what we're doing will surely capture the attention of a lot of people, and we're going to monetize that. So as you will probably know, big tournaments, big games, they get sponsored, and we're also looking to do that and use those revenues to streamline back to the community and to further build the organization.
Brilliant answer. Yeah, I like that. It sounds good. I agree, actually, in kind of taking that. If you've got the opportunity for sponsorships, definitely take it. Let's move on to another question. There's a couple here, actually. So this is more of a question about the agency itself, because although yourself and I might know how football and agencies work, not everybody does. So if ever a player so basically the question is, if a player that you are looking after in the agency got hired by a professional team, does the project, aka Rabona, have a cut on the salary of that player?
Yes, of course. That's why we're doing this as a business. There's a transfer market. Players get transferred from one team to another team. And within these transfers, there's two ways to make money for there's multiple, but the main two ways that the agency benefits from the player getting contracted is, on the one hand, or on one side, the commission from the transfer fee. So let's say a player plays for a team in Belgium or a team in the Netherlands. We manage to get them to the Premier League or to the Spanish League. We get a cut of the fee that one team has to pay to the other team. So the fee that gets paid for one team to take over a player from another team that is already contracted, we manage to get a cut or a commission on that fee. But on top of that, we're also getting a cut of the salary of the player in the new team. But of course, we will also be looking to negotiate as much as possible for these players. That's our job. We want them to get the best contract, the best salary, and the best transfer fee for the team that he's coming from, and that way our commission also gets higher. So that's the agency aspect of what we're building, and that's how we're going to be profitable.
Yeah, nice. Another question, kind of a similar sort of vein. Also, for the future, due to having agents and scouting players, does the team plan to make its own team and start in small leagues? Because the project has already scouted the players and also trained and helped them. AKA, would you ever consider making your own team later down the line? I mean, from my perspective, sorry, just to answer the first part, is a lot of money in these things, but I don't know the grand ambitions for that, Choga.
Yeah, so we do have the ambitions for that, but in the near future, it will be nearly impossible to do that. If we're talking about professional football, you really need hundreds of millions, if not billions, to manage your own team. But that's also why there's so much money involved within football, because it's really $1 billion or hundreds of billions of dollar industry. So in the near future, we're not looking to create our own professional football team if we're talking about professional football, but we are looking at futsal, which is also a big industry of football. It's indoor football, and it's in Belgium it's much more accessible. Also in the other countries, it's much more in Europe, it's much more accessible to create your own futsal team, especially if you got sponsors and everything going on. And we believe that with Rabona, we surely can create our own indoor futsal team. We believe that's something we will be able to do in the near future. Of course, we will be needing a great squad for that with needed experience, but it's surely not too far-fetched for us in the near future.
Sounds good. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Let's open up for someone to ask. AV Minotaur has been waiting for a while. Let's hope your connection's okay. Hi, dude. How you doing?
Thanks.
We can hear you.
Oh, so I wanted to ask, so I've been from the AMA from the beginning, so there's something I gotta wrap my mind around. So you guys, you look for talents, or you guys bring up talents, and you give them exposure to the football world. Let's say, upcoming footballers, what can they benefit from your platform? Because I see you have a really good first ambassador, but what will people really benefit from your business? And as far from the aspect of your project, the business and the project is a whole two different world. You bring in crypto to the football world. How will your business, like what percentage of your business profit will be allocated back into the crypto to keep the shop healthy and for marketing? You know, can you please tell us about that?
Yes, for sure. So first of all, to answer the question about, can you mute your microphone so I don't hear myself?
I've done it. Don't worry. Go for it.
Okay, great. So first of all, what we're the main problem we are solving is the fact that a lot of young players are not able to make the transition from youth division or semi-professional football to professional football, mainly because they are lacking the guidance, the mental guidance, the physical guidance, but also the professional guidance. They don't have the connections within the football industry. And we are creating a full package solution for these players with physiotherapy, mental coaching, nutritional guidance. And we believe that will be something that will benefit the players a lot. So we are creating a full package and making sure that the only thing that they have to focus on is football. that they can focus themselves fully on their professional career, and that they don't have to worry about costs that are related to their career. Also, that they are getting the chances and the platform that they need to get the exposure to grow their career, to get heard of, and to become a professional, because there's a lot of talent out there that just waiting to be scouted and to be signed, but they just don't have the people around them or the guidance to become a pro. And we want to create that full package solution for the players, and that's something that other agencies are currently not offering, and we believe that we will be able to do that.
I think one of the kind of angles to that question as well was it's cool to see a project do well, like i.e. your agency do well, or these tournaments to do well. But what benefit does an investor, i.e. a crypto investor? I bought Rabona token. I think it was more of a question of the DAO more than anything. You might not have caught that. So I don't know if you want to go into that in any detail, Choga.
For sure. So part of the commission will be streamlined back to the agent from the agency to the community through the D app, but also part of the revenues, about half of the revenues, will be used for the real life business, to further fund the tournaments, to further fund the agency, the trials, and just to grow our business in general. And the other half will be used for buybacks, used to create staking pools. So we will look to grow the token and the business at the same time, to scale them at the same time. And if we see that one's going way far ahead of the other one, we'll make sure that everything stays balanced, then that we can slowly but surely scale our operations, and that we don't have to deal with all the growing pains that a business usually has.
Yeah, great question, great answer. I like both of those. Let's just take another text one for now. It's pretty generic, but it's a question I'm sure a lot of people think of. What sets you apart from other projects like yours? I mean, why should people invest in Rabona and not other similar football-themed projects?
So if you look at other football team projects that are out there, we have on one side the fan tokens. Of course, if you're a fan of a certain team and you want to get involved with that, that's understandable. Then we have the football gaming tokens. Football gaming is a great industry, but I think that EA with EA Sports with FIFA and FIFA Ultimate Team has that on lock. It will be hard to compete with a big game such as FIFA, just because they're such a monopoly that for us it was way too far-fetched to start competing with them. It's a billion-dollar business, multiple billion-dollar business, and it's just too far-fetched for us, not something we want to get into. And then you have betting platforms. What sets us apart from betting platforms is, we as a team, we don't stand behind gambling, and it's not something we want to be a part of. So to each his own. But we really looked at what problem can we solve within the football industry as a base. That's something that we were looking at even before we started the crypto aspect of this. So in March, we started the crypto aspect of Rabona. But before that, we were already looking at what connections are we able to make within the football industry? How can we solve a problem within the football industry? And once we saw a similar or a project doing a similar thing in March, where they were helping out UFC fighters who were earning way too little for risking their lives in the octagon, giving them extra funding for shoutouts, and getting to a huge market cap of over 100 million or even more. That's when we decided, people actually want to help, people want to care about professional athletes. Why should we not combine the football agency with a crypto token. Why don't we do that? And that will set us way further as an agency, because we will have way more funding, way more resources, and way more infrastructure to provide to the players. And at the same time, we will give the investors a solution that they're providing for an actual problem. And at the same time, we will create content out of this. We will everything will be reflected on the D app, and we just share the whole journey of the players. And we thought that it was a great concept. We started pitching it, and we noticed that a lot of people wanted to get involved. A lot of people were interested in this, and that's how Rabona came to life. At the same time, we started putting all our energy into it, coming with more ideas like the tournaments, like the staking, and everything. And we're constantly evolving as a project. And I believe that within the crypto football tokens, we are definitely one that stands out. Just if you look at the branding, just if you look at the energy, the effort that has been put into the website, the white paper, the concept, our socials, our branding. We put a lot of time into it, and we had the advantage of starting in March, having a few months of advantage over all the other competitors that are coming out right now because of the World Cup hype. And a lot of tokens are created just for the World Cup hype. And my question for those tokens would be, what will sustain them after the World Cup hype? If you see projects gaining huge market cap just based on the World Cup hype and not providing any other value, I don't think that those projects can sustain long unless they come up with a great solution for a problem, because otherwise people will just take out their investment when the World Cup is over. And for us, I believe that with the tournaments, with the agency, with the D app, and all the other utilities that we have going on, like NFT and merchandise, we believe that it will be that the World Cup will only be the start of what we're doing. So all the attention that we're getting from there will only be the start, and then it's just a journey that starts for us as a community, as a football agency, and with all the players that are involved. We believe that we are not in here for a sprint, we are in here for a marathon, and most other football tokens are simply not.
Yeah, great answer. I mean, I expected it to be a generic response to a generic answer, generic response to a generic question, but actually you managed to lay it out with all the different tokens and whatnot. I like that. That's very good. Ghost Dog, we're going to go with you. I saw your question in chat and I liked it. So if you want to ask it, go for it.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So, first of all, congratulations on your launch. I was following you guys since the pre-launch period, and so looking good so far. My question is, could you just give a general, because after launch you have some basic idea of of the interest in your project. You can compare it with your expectations and with your business plan, when it comes to strict operations that you plan to carry out to fulfill your goals. And how does this launch and the results that you guys achieved fit into the business plan? Do you think this everything you planned, at least for the short term, is you will be able to achieve just looking at the initial info from the launch itself?
Yeah, that's a good question. We believe that we're doing great. We're right on track. A lot of our investors are happy that they got involved and are looking to get even more involved. Looking on the long term, we have a lot of things scheduled out. And right now for us, it's all about scaling. We're looking to get more people involved to help us realize all the ideas. We're in touch with football agents. We are in touch with scouts. We are in touch with organizers for the tournament. So it's all about execution for us right now, making sure that we can operate on a regular basis, making sure that we can achieve everything that we're promising. And for us, it's all about organization right now, making sure that we can manage everything and slowly but surely start executing. So what we're looking forward to right now is the first tournament that we have scheduled during the football winter break. And we'll do everything within our capacity to make a success out of it. So we get all the people involved needed, and just make sure that we can make it a banger, so we can keep providing for everyone involved, keep scaling, and start organizing tournaments in other cities. And for us, it will be a great way to spread the word about everything that we have going on. So we will be promoting the merchandise, we will be promoting the token itself. Also, we will be scouting for the agency. We will be promoting the NFTs and the D app during the tournaments and on social media. So we are making sure that the campaign will be as efficient as possible. And that's why we chose to do such a guerrilla marketing strategy, just to make sure that everyone hears about us eventually in the football world and also in the crypto world, and just to make sure that it's an actual nice event to attend, and to create something that everyone will be proud of.
Brilliant. Great question as well, actually. I like that. I'm going to open it just for one more question. Lucky, you are the lucky one. Hey, mate.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, mate, can hear you.
Okay, also, my question is regarding the Rabona charity that I see in the website. So, how will the Rabona charity represent itself in terms of transparency and honesty to its communities?
Yeah, so our goal will to be as transparent as possible with the marketing or with the charity activities that we will be performing. Our idea is to start out with football clothing, footballs, football shoes, and kits that we can give away to third world countries, to less fortunate football kids, enthusiasts, youth players that we can help out. So we will get in touch with organizations, provide them all the material, all the resources to help these kids who love football but don't have the money to buy the needed things to play football. So think of goals, think of footballs themselves, kits, football shoes, and that's the first step that we're making. Eventually, we will start partnerships with organizations where we can help them on a larger scale, build our own academies. But that's something we will have going on in the future. Right now, we will be looking at more convenient ways for us to provide charity within the football world, help the people that are in need, the less fortunate. And that's how we planned it out right now. Of course, we will also be accepting through the DAO proposals for charity. And as an organization, how we will be as transparent as possible is as follows. We will make articles on Medium about the charity activities that we will be doing or we will be holding. We will give the community the possibility to give proposals for charity campaigns. Our goal is, of course, to combine it with football. So as I told you before, if we can help people with Rabona footballs or football shoes, football kits, it would be an amazing first way for us to provide this charity. But then we will start accepting proposals, and if we are able to achieve those or to make those proposals into a reality, we will surely do that. And as an organization, how we're going to keep the transparency also is through setting a percentage from our revenues or from our profits that we will be allocating towards charity. And through our D app, we are going to make sure that that the community gets heard, that the needed charity organizations get helped, and that we make sure that we help the less fortunate out there.
Awesome. And also, you said you mentioned third world countries. So in these third world countries, there are so many teenagers with passion to play football, but have no like opportunity. So will your scout team these countries, or is just a particular area?
Yeah, so to be honest about it, for within the first years for us, it will not be so convenient to scout within third world countries, or really actually out of Europe, because our team is European based, and on the shorter term, just to be as cost efficient and as time efficient as possible to make our organization profitable, we will be mostly scouting within our own region. So you can think of Netherlands, Belgium, France, Spain, UK, Italy, Portugal, and so on. So mostly in Europe, just because we do have the infrastructure, the connections, and the time and the team for that. On the short term, that's our focus. Of course, if we talk about in a few years, we will be surely looking at other regions of the world also, just to make sure that we can help the less fortunate, the people who don't get a chance, because that's what we're standing for. But right now, if we would focus on that as a priority or as a primary activity, it would just not be beneficial for the organization, not time beneficial, not cost beneficial. So it will be something that we will dedicate ourselves to in a later stage.
Okay, awesome. I think that answers all my question. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Some great questions today, guys, actually. Thank you, Choga, once again. I love having you on here. You answered the questions very, very well. So thank you. John, have you got anything to add, mate? Oh, he's not there. Is he there? He doesn't sound like it, does he? Well, once again, Rabona Agency, absolutely fantastic. Their launch went amazingly. The fair launch went well, and they've just continued to go from strength to strength. If you've got any further questions, which some of you might have further questions, of course, I know a few of you had your hands up, but feel free to jump over to Rabona Agency's Telegram group, where I'm sure they'll be happy to answer them. Obviously, if you are a bit sad that you missed out on a prize, then please don't worry. There's plenty more AMAs where that could be the case as well. But keep the focus on Rabona Agency. It was an amazing AMA. Thank you once again, Choga. And like I say, when you have got the details for the tournament, when they're set in stone, please send them over to our group. Send them over to us, and we'll make sure they're in there. And hopefully, I'll show my face.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys for having us again, especially on such a short notice again. Well, it's only been a few days since we've launched, but I'm definitely looking to have another AMA with you guys again in the future. We will constantly be updating our community and your community with what we're doing, and we believe it's a great way for us to spread the word about us, but also to give our communities the needed insight on what we're doing. And yeah, you're a great host, asking great questions with the needed insight on the topic, and I really appreciate I appreciate it. Thankful for that, and it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Thanks for the feedback, brother. I really appreciate it, and all the best. We are going to stick on the line for a couple of minutes, guys, just to field a few questions about PresaleWorld. But like I say, Rabona Agency, all the links are in PresaleWorld if you want to go visit them and have a look how they're doing. They are launched. They are doing very, very well. You know, they launched, had that kind of pump dump, and then they just grew from there straight for above launch price. They're still way, way above launch price. Again, retracing, and then it's just going back up again. So, you know, please have a look. Please look at the chart. Please ask some questions, and thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you all for joining. Thank you all for asking the questions. Thanks for all the community members for participating, for being so active on social media, on Twitter, on Telegram. It's really a pleasure to have such a nice community. We have everything going on right now for us. Everything is lined up perfectly. Thanks to everyone who's patient with the team, patient with other community members. making sure that all the FUD gets dismantled in the chat, and just keeping a great vibe, being patient, and making sure that we progress well. So thank you everyone for involving, for putting in the effort, for putting in your time, and I'm sure that we all will reap the rewards over time. So make sure to stay tuned, stay active, and look forward to what's coming, because it's going to be great, guys. Thank you all.